ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेवदेव। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। मानस भज रे गुरु चरणम मानस भज रे गुरु चरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम दुस्तर भव सागर तरणम। गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय स्वामीनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय स्वामीनाथ सद्गुरु जय जय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः। अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव। ओम नमः शिवाय Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Hari Om. So, today's our Tattvabodha class. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitardhaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he is explaining what is Atma. So this is our main topic of our Vedanta. If anybody asks what is the subject of Vedanta, in one word we can say subject of Vedanta is nothing but Atma Jnana. Or we can tell it is Brahma Jnana. Atma, Brahma, both are one. So Swamiji, you said Vedanta is explaining. Vedanta means Upanishads. Upanishads are explaining about Atma Jnana. Then what do you mean by Atma, Swamiji? For many for many things we use this word called Atma. Some people call Bhuta Preta also as Atma, Bhutatma, Pretatma, Jivatma. So many Atmas are there. I know. What about your Atma, Swamiji? What Bhagavan is telling, or what Upanishads are indicating with the term called Atma? Then Shankaracharya ji, he defined very precisely and beautifully about Atma. He said A, B, C, D, 4 things about Atma. The first one is Atma is other than gross body, subtle body, and causal body. Stula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vitiriktaha. Vitiriktaha means other than all these 3. And B, he said, Atma is beyond Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya koshas. Kosha means a sheath of our personality, or we can say layer of our personality. We have 5 layers, but whereas this pure Atma is beyond all these 5. And one more he is saying, this Atma is pure witness for all our experiences. Avasthatraya Sakshi. Its nature is Sakshi. Its nature is not enjoyer. Its nature is not doer. Its nature is not fighter. Nothing, no error. Its nature is just, it's a witness. Avasthatraya Sakshi. Then you may ask, Swamiji, all the time you are saying Atma is not this, Atma is not this, Atma is not this. Then what will be the locative meaning for Atma? Then Bhagavan said it is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha. Swarupa by its own nature is pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss. This is about Atma. And the student immediately he questioned one thing for a Swami, for his Guru. Hey Guru, you said Atma is beyond all the 3 bodies. Then you please explain what are all the 3 bodies. Then Guru said the first body is called Sthula Shariram, gross body. Because it is very easy to understand. For example, in our Chinmay mission also, we can bring a new fresh student to Brahma Sutra camp. Because the first class itself, if it is Brahma Sutra camp, then he neither understands Brahma Sutra or ordinary what Swamiji is speaking. I don't know what he is explaining. That's why Bhagavan is starting from gross body only. Because gross body is regular experience for us. Every day we see our gross body. Same time, every day we see others' gross bodies also. We can locate any individual by this address only. I know we keep this address for everyone. If it comes, oh, this is that. If it comes, this is that. The location is very easy. That's why he explained what is gross body. Today, Bhagavan is explaining about subtle body. So today our topic is subtle body. This is in old version, page number 35. In some books it is 38, I think. You please repeat after me if you have book. If you don't have also, you can repeat. No problem in repetition. Sukshma shariram kim apanchīkrita panchamābhūtaihi kritam satkarmajanyam sukha dukkhādi bhogasadhanam pancha jnanendriyani pancha karmendriyani pancha pranadayaha manaschaikam buddhischaika evam saptadashakalabhihi saha yattishtati tat sukshma shariram. Swamiji, this definition also very big definition, Swamiji. Sukshma shariram kim? Student is asking, hey Guru Maharaj, what do you mean by subtle body? Sukshma shariram kim? Then the Guru is answering. He also putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first point is Sukshma shariram panchamahabhutaihi krutam. This is also made up of 5 great elements only. In previous class, we have seen gross body is made up of 5 great elements. Even subtle body also made up of the same 5 great elements only. Panchamahabhutaihi krutam. But there is a small difference. These Panchamahabhutas are apanchīkrita Panchamahabhutas. Apanchīkrita meaning they did not go any kind of change or modification. As it is, how they were created by the God, purely with that 5 elements, the subtle body was made. Let us see what is that meaning of apanchīkrita panchamahabhutaihi krutam. In one line, we can say subtle body also made up of 5 elements only. Second, satkarma janyam. Because of lot of merits only, we got this internal structure also. Satkarma janyam. Okay, Swamiji. Third one is sukha dukkhadi bhoga sadhanam. This subtle body is an instrument. instrument to enjoy pairs of opposites. For example, if somebody asks, where are we are enjoying our pairs of opposites? For example, Sukham is there. So where is this Sukham? So the care of address is subtle body. Dukkham, subtle body. Manam, praising, we receive in subtle body only. Insult, actually insult also we receive in subtle body only. So all pairs of opposites we will receive in our subtle body. Sukha dukkhadi bhoga sadhanam. Okay, Swamiji. And the last line is very big. But one word we can say, this subtle body is a combination of 17 components. In subtle body, we have 17 components. What are the 17, Swamiji? Pancha Jnanendriyani, 5 sense organs of perception. Pancha Jnanendriyani. Pancha Karmendriyani, 5 senses of action. 5 Pancha Karmendriyani. 5 plus 5, 10, Swamiji. Pancha Pranadayaha, Pancha Pranas. 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15. 2 more. Manaha Ekam, mind, plus 1. Buddhischa Eka, plus Buddhi. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 17. Saptadasha Kalabihi. Kala means its ingredients, its parts are 17. Saptadasha means 17. Saptadasha Kalabihi Sahayatishtati. Together, all 17, which is the combination of all 17, is called Sukshma Shariram. So the 17 are 5 Jnanendriyani, 5 Karmendriyani, 5 Pranas, 1 mind, and 1 intellect. These 17 are in subtle body. So, my dear student, today's answer for your question is this. Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutaihi Krutam Satkarmajanyam Sukhadukkadi Bhoga Sadhanam Pancha Jnanendriyani Pancha Karmendriyani Pancha Pranadayaha Manaschaikam Buddhischa Eka Evam Saptadasha Kalabihi Saha Yattishtati Tat Sukshma Sariram. That is called Sukshma Shariram. Student Swamiji, we need little more explanation, Swamiji, then we will catch it. Few points are there for the subtle body. One is this subtle body, it pervades all the gross body. It enlivens the gross body. Because of it only this gross body can function. It should say, Brahmachari Venkatji, you speak, then it speaks. Brahmachari Venkatji, you touch, then I will touch. Brahmachari Venkatji, you taste, then I will taste. It governs the gross body. So it is the boss over our Sthula Sharir, over our gross body. This is one point. Second point is, already I told, Swamiji, why the rishis kept the name as Sukshma Shariram, subtle body, for this layer? Because it cannot be perceived by anyone with sense organs. That's why I don't know what is there in your mind. I don't know what is there in your intellect. Same time, with my senses, I don't know what is there in my mind. Some other chakshu I may use it, But with I cannot see my mind. That's why it is called as Sukshma Shariram, which cannot be experienced by sense organs. Somebody asked Puja Gurudev, Gurudev, people are talking something about you. Then Gurudev said, what is that? They said, Gurudev, they're thinking Chinmayanandji can read the minds of others. So this went to our Gurudev. Gurudev said, I am not interested in anyone's garbage. Why should I read it? So yogi people, they may know what is there in our mind. Now, generally, it's not by common people. That's why they kept this name as Sukshma Shariram. And one more thing about the Sukshma Shariram is, when we leave our body, we call it as death. That time, this body travels. Whereas we leave this gross body and they buried it or burned it, whatever they do it. But whereas this subtle body, with this subtle jiva ahankar, jiva means I am an individual thought. That I am an individual thought, he will keep all this, whatever likes, vasanas, dislikes, whatever he collected whole life. This subtle body travels from one life to another life. Depending on this texture of this subtle body only, the next gross body will decide. Whether you go to cow, or whether you go to a tiger, or a prince or princess, whatever. That's why we have to take care more about subtle body. And one more thing is, subtle body is the interval body. This side is gross body and another side is causal body. This gross body is completely inert. We cannot do anything except make-upping and cleaning. We can clean it, we can make up it. Whether the person is beautiful or ugly, the subtle body is, it has its own texture. Some people, they look very beautiful, but if you see their mind, oh my God, it is very smelly. Some people, they look very ugly, but their mind is so beautiful. So this gross body, we cannot do anything. At the same time, this causal body also we cannot do anything, because it is always, it is in unmanifested state only. So whatever we can do, our operation is this layer on subtle body. That's why Mahatmas, they say, more focus is on our mind and intellect. Mind means seat of emotions, intellect means seat of our ideas. If we change our ideas and if we change our emotions, then definitely our personality will change. We may get liberation or not, that is secondary. At least we will be happy, our life will be happy. If our mind itself a troublemaker, then everywhere the trouble will travel with us. Not only this life, any life you go, the trouble will come, because you have not corrected your own instrument. It is making noise. So this is the greatness of our subtle body. Whatever you do, you do. That is our freedom. Next thing. And Mahatma said, this subtle body also made up of 5 elements only. But this state of 5 elements they call as tanmatra. Tanmatra means as it is, how they are generated or created from God. In that form only, this they will make the subtle body. So that state of this 5 elements is called tanmatra form, pure form. Whereas in gross body time, there will be some grossification will happen. Shankaracharya will explain later. little grossification will happen, and then the structure will come, whatever we have the structure. Whereas the subtle body is with the now you tell, even in subtle body mode also, we all connected. We are not different. We are not separate. That's why whatever I'm speaking, you can understand. Because you have a mind, I have a mind. You have an intellect, I have an intellect. Both are with the root cause is same. Then whatever we color, that coloring is different. And plus point is we can change our colors. We can change our colors. Whether it is sattva, raja, tama, whatever color, let it be, but we can change it. That the one word they use, that's called samishti manaha. Samishti manaha, the universal mind also one only. The boss of this universal mind is called Ishvara. The boss of this individual mind is called Jiva. We all connected, Ishvara, Jiva, mind, body, everything. So, apanchikruta panchamahabhutaihi krutam. And the second one is, this is Satkarma Janyam. One sutra is there in Yoga Shastra. Punyena punyam, papena papam, ubhabhyam manushya lokam. One formula. In Bhagavad Gita also it comes in 17th, 18th chapters. Punyena punyam. If we have done completely punyam, then we will go to punya lokas. Like Svarga, Brahmaloka, Maharloka, Janarloka, great lokas. Punyena punyam. No, Swamiji, I have done completely papam. Papena papam. Then we will go to animals and Rakshasas, Asuras, Bhuta, Preta, Pisachi, ityadi. Papena papam. Ubhabhyam manushya lokam. Ubhabhyam means actually our lifestyle is, we are not completely good. We are not completely bad. Ubhabhyam. We do some good actions also, we do some bad actions also. This kind of life, they will go to Manushya Loka. Ubhabhyam Manushya Loka. That's why the above lokas and the Nicha lokas they call Bhoga Yoni. Bhoga Yoni means they completely exhaust their vasanas. If the punya is over, if the punya balance is over, then they will kick from the Swarga Lokam. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan uses the word Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishantiyan. If the punya is dried, then they will kick. In Nicha Loka also, it has to exhaust its vasanas. It cannot accumulate anything. Whereas in our life, whereas in our Manushya Loka, we can do both. This is called Purushartha. In Veda language, this is called Purushartha, means you put your own self-effort and you get it. These Purusharthas, they say they are four. You put your effort, you will get comforts. That is called Ardha Purushartha. You put your effort, you will get whatever you desired object. That is called Kama Purushartha. You put your effort, you gain Punya. That is called Dharma Purushartha. Even for moksha also, you have to put effort and you can get it. Otherwise, nobody can give moksha to you. Guru may love you. Your parents, they may love you. Bhagavan also, he may love you or likes you, whatever, but he cannot give moksham. Because this, your own ignorance can be eliminated by your own knowledge. So you have to acquire knowledge, you think of yourself and realize who you are. So this is called moksha purushartham. This term satkarma means we have this choice in subtle level. Satkarma Janyam. Main job of our life is this only. We have to rectify our mind and intellect. We have to correct it. Pujya Gurudev many times he used to say, it's a little maladjustment only, but we are not doing. Just at least see our mind, what is there in it. Then it will be corrected. Then the tuning between the higher and this will be proper. He used to give the example of radio station. Radio station, it releases nice frequencies. Whereas our radio knob, if little it is violated, then we cannot get nice music. You put little effort and slowly you just adjust it, then you will get melodious music. That is called Satkarma. Little polishment is required for our mind and intellect. What I am thinking, at least what are all my ideas? What ideals I kept in my mind? Is there any good for society? Is there any good thing for my family? Is there any good thing for my nation, my Bhagavan, or for my self-inquiry, or for my spirituality? These are all called ideals. And the emotions also. Our mind, it should not be very like our Acharya used to give example. Some minds are like pans. Pan means we put dosha in, that is called pan. Always burning, heated. Whatever thought you keep on it, it just dried it and exhaust. Pan type. No, he used to say our mind should be like the pearl plate where pearl will germinate. Even if you put a water drop, a pearl should come out of it. That is called beauty of mind. Satkarma Janyam. And the third one is, this subtle body is our Sukshma Shariram. Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam. This is the instrument which enjoys both pairs and opposites. So objectively, Bhagavan Shankaracharya is defining this Sukshma Shariram, it will enjoy both. It will enjoy sorrow, it will enjoy joy also. Pain, pleasure. Mana, avamana. Praise, insult. All opposites. Swamiji, where is the platform of this dance of opposites, Swamiji? The dance of opposites platform is our subtle body. We know that because it's our own experience. And the terminology, see the terminology. Gross body is Sukha Dukkha Adi Bhoga Ayatanam. It is a window. Subtle body is Sukha Dukkha Adi Bhoga Sadhanam. Sadhanam is who sits at the window. For example, a bank is there. There they will keep a window. And we go there. Because this window is addressed for the particular customer. True. This window is addressed for the particular customer. True. But the receptionist of that customer, he sits behind the window. He speaks with that customer. Whatever he wants to tell, whatever he wants to receive, the operation is someone else. That is Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Sadhanam. Generally, what we think is Sukha Dukkha Bhoga, everything, they attack physical body, but physical body is not the receiver. Subtle body is the receiver. Sukha Dukkha Bhoga Sadhanam. This is just window only, Ayatanam. The receptionist is subtle. That's why, for example, If he sleeps, then no sukham, no dukkham. They have the subtle difference. Sukha dukkadi bhoga sadhanam. Okay, Swamiji. Then you said it has 17 components. It's very easy because we know from our childhood. 5 jnanendriyani, 5 karmendriyani, 5 pranas, 1 mind, and 1 intellect. Bhagavan will explain later what are the jnanendriya, what are the karmendriyani, and what is pranas, and what is mind, and what is intellect. So 17 together, they will form our mind. In this one layer, he said 5 pranas. This 5 prana layer is the energy layer. These 5 pranas only, they will supply energy to the subtle body and energy to the gross body. See, even subtle body also requires energy, fuel, petrol. If it doesn't have any petrol, mind cannot think. That's why we have to keep mind also very healthy, very energetic. Swamiji, how can we know our mind's energy levels are good? They say our alertness in every situation, in every time, if we are very alert, our mind's energy is good. So dull, I missed so much, Swamiji. I did not see, Swamiji. Oh, did you speak that? Okay. We are not alert. That means the energy levels in our mind are not that good. So the parameter for energy of our mind is our alertness, people. If we are if we should be alert in everywhere, not only in Vedanta class. In traveling also, if we are not alert, we know what is going to happen. In shopping also, some people they say, oh, my purse is missed. It will miss. Because many people they see about what is your purse. You have to keep properly. You have to watch. So mind alertness is very, very important in everything, in cooking, in eating. So it needs some energy. He will explain how we will get this energy. Swamiji, this is all together is called Sukshma Shariram. But supplementary questions are there too. That supplementary questions are, he said just Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani. Definitely this student will ask because he is Tattvabodha student. First text for Tattvabodha, Vedanta, definitely he will ask, my Guru, please tell what is this Jnanendriyam, what is this Karmendriyam. Now Shankaracharya ji, he is explaining in page number 37. The first is for sense organs of perception, Jnanendriya. Srotram, Tvak, Chakshuhu, Rasana, Granam, page 45. Granam iti pancha jnanendriyani. I expect everyone knows these terms. Srotram means ear. Srotram. Tvak. Tvak's meaning is skin. Tvak. Chakshuhu. Chakshuhu means eyes. Rasana. Rasana means tongue, which tastes. Tongue. Rasana. Granam. Swamiji, Granam meaning nose. These 5 are the 5 Jnanendriyani. Srotram, Tvak, Chakshuhu, Rasana, घ्राणम इति पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि ears, skin, eyes, tongue, nose. Okay na? Okay. And then see, they all have presiding deities. In Vedanta we say, in our Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavan is explaining in the next line, which is the presiding deity for which organ. Srotrasya Digdevata. For Srotram, for ear, the presiding deity is, the governing department is Digdevata. Digdevata means space. Dig means space. Tvacho Vayuhu. For skin, the governing department is Vayuhu, Vayu Devata, air god. Okay, Swamiji. Chakshusaha. Chakshusaha means eyes. This we know. Chakshusaha Suryaha. Sun is the presiding deity for eyes. Rasanaya Varunaha. For tongue, the presiding deity is Varuna god. Varuna god means god of waters. Varuna god. Swamiji. Granasya. For nose, the presiding deity is Ashvinau. They say there are two devatas. Their name is called Ashwini Devataha. These Ashwini Devatas are the presiding deities for nose. They smell. Because of their blessings only we can smell anything. Okay. Iti Jnanendriya Devataha. This is second topic for Jnanendriya. And one more is there. Bhagavan is telling. This we know. Srotrasya Vishayaha Shabda Grahanam. Swamiji, you said this is a Indriyam. This is a sense organ, ear. What it will do, Swamiji? He is answering Shabda Grahanam. Shabda Grahanam means it will receive sound. Like elementary students he is teaching. Srotrasya Vishayaha Shabda Grahanam. Okay. Tvacho Vishayaha. The job of the skin is Sparsha Grahanam. Sparsha. Sparsha means touching. See, for example, you close your eyes. Somebody puts one orange and one apple and you touch both. And you know this is orange, this is apple. Who is giving this knowledge to you? This sense only. That is called Sparsha Grahana. This is cold. This is hot. This is okay. This Sparsha Grahanam is a knowledge. This knowledge is received by this sense organ. Tvachoho Vishayaha Sparsha Grahanam. Next, Swamiji, Chakshushaha, eyes. Job is Rupa Grahanam. Rupa means color and form together. Eyes can receive color of any object, at the same time form of any object. Which is which form, which is which color, eyes only can do that job. Swamiji, very nice. Then Rasanaya Vishayaha Rasagrahanam. What is the duty of this tongue, Swamiji? Oh, Swamiji, it is our favorite duty. Rasagrahanam. Tasting. How subtle it see. You mix 7 tastes in one dish. but it will. Today salt is more. Today oil is less. Today is very good. Rasagrahanam. It's knowledge. Swamiji, the last one is Granasya Gandhagrahanam. This nose job is Gandhagrahanam. It receives smell, Swamiji. See, Bhagavan created such a beautiful instrument. Rupagrahanam, Shabdagrahanam, Rasagrahanam, smell, Gandhagrahanam, ityadi. He kept all the organs. That's why their name is Jnanendriyani. Because these senses will give knowledge. This is all knowledge, sir. Knowledge of taste, knowledge of smell, knowledge of form and color, knowledge of sound, knowledge of objects, which is which object with our skin. Because they are giving knowledge, the title is Jnanendriyani. And they are they have very important role in our life. If they are not good, we are in trouble. The glasses came because ill treatment of that organ. Some people they get this also, some people this also, everything. They have very much important role because they are the mediator between the world and the person. So this is the job of this Indriyas. And then Puj Guruji, he says very small point and very interesting point. You know, we have 5 sense organs, right now? Each one do one job. Actually, our world is this 5 only. There may be something, 6th one, 7th one, 8th one, 9th one, but that is not in our world. That's why we don't know so many things. People may say devatas are there, people may say ghosts are there, or rakshas are there. Some objects may be there, which doesn't have all these 5 Sabda, Sparsa, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Then that will be not in our world. Our world is nothing but these 5 sense organs gathered information only. Other than this information, you don't have anything. So our world is this information only. This is one thing. The second thing is each sense organ has one specific job. They don't interfere each other. Matlab, I can see only. I cannot touch, I cannot receive sound, I cannot receive smell. This can receive sound only. It cannot receive color, it cannot receive smell. They all working together. See, they all working together, but the mechanism is such a subtle and such a specific. They don't interfere at any time. That's why we give this credit to God, because we cannot create any mission like this. And some people, they say how far it is true, I don't know. One lens is there in our eye. We all have this lens. Even now, so much of optic science is developed, but nobody could create the lens like human eyes lens. Same time it can see far sights, same time it can see the closer sights. It can identify different colors, different people, different variations, and it works so long time continuously. From the morning till night, continuously it works. Such a glory. Our one organ only I am I gave example. Each organ, sound, taste, how many tastes we designed because of this tongue only. I know, to satisfy this 2-inch tongue, how much work we are doing. So many crops, so many types of vegetables, so many types of fruits, and artificial flavors, ice creams. Swamiji, do you tasted it? What is this? This is Spanish Manchurian dish. Spanish Manchurian. Where is Manchuria? Where is Spanish? We mix together and we create something else and we taste it. Because you all the time fresh. Such a great glory of our sense organs. This is and for Vedanta, one very important word is there for the sense organs. The knowledge what we gain through these sense organs is called pratyaksha pramanam. In English, we can translate it as direct means of knowledge. This is very important. Why, Swamiji, is very important? Because we gather knowledge from different sources. It will come in Vedanta in our advanced classes. Some knowledge from textbooks. It is called Shastra Praman. Aina? Some knowledge from inference. Inference means I have not seen, I have not gone, but somehow I guessed it. That knowledge is called inference. Some knowledge is called Mahatma's experience, because my father told like this, because my guru told like this. That's why I believe, I work on it. But whereas this knowledge is called direct means of knowledge, pratyaksha praman. In our life, 70% of truthfulness we give for this knowledge only. If I see, I believe. 100% we believe. No need of any sakshyam, no need of any another proof for this pratyaksha praman. If somebody asks, how could you believe it? Because I have seen it. It is truth. Because I heard with my own ear. No one can manage me. Pratyaksha pramanam, it has more satyata, truthfulness in our life. This is some information about this Jnanendriya. Pujya Guruji in his textbook, he has written beautiful tabular form. See, what are the sense organs and their deities and their activities also. So little easy to understand. And the next one is page number 48 in your books. And the next one is Karmendriyani. If we understand little bit about Jnanendriyam, then Karmendriyam is easy. Swamiji, tell then what are the senses of action. That is in 49 must be in your book. Vak, Pani, Pada, Payuhu, Upastani, Iti, 48 only. Iti Pancha Karmendriyani. This Pancha Karmendriyani, sense organs of action. Action means they do. See the difference. One title is Jnanendriyani means they know. Karmendriyani means they do. Swamiji, you tell what are the indriyas we do. The first one is Vak. Vak means speech, speaking ability. Who does, Swamiji? Tongue only. So tongue has two duties, but it will do two very efficiently. tongue is a part of Jnanendriyam also. It is a part of Karmendriyam also. It can taste also, it can speak also. Vak. Swamiji, is it action or not? It is action. How do you know, Swamiji, it is action? If I speak something, whatever I wish to speak, I will receive something. Then I can understand what I did. That's why we have to use proper language. Vak. Okay, Swamiji. Second one is pani. Pani means hands, not pani, water pani. Pani, hands. Third one is pada. Pada means legs. 3. Vak, tongue, pani, hands, pada, legs. Third one is payuhu. Payuhu means what we call anus, excreting organ. We excrete na every day morning. That is also an action only. Swamiji, but it is an organ only. Scientifically, we should go. Payuhu. And the third one, fifth one is upasthani. Upasthani means genital organ. These 5 are pancha karmendriyan. Okay, sir. Speech, hands, legs, anus, and genital organ. Vak, pani, pada, payuhu, upasthani iti karmendriyani. Okay, Swamiji. Now you tell, you told already the Jnanendriyas, they have devatas, presiding deities. This department also, they also have. Vachoho devata vanhihi. The presiding deity for tongue, for speech is Vanhi, means fire god, Agni Devata. Hastayoho Indraha. The presiding deity for hands is called Indra. Padayoho Vishnu. For Pada, Vishnu. This Vishnu is not our Vaikunta Vishnu. Vaikunta Vishnu is different. This Vishnu is different. Padayoho Vishnu. Payoho Mrityuhu. For excretion of work, the deity is Mrityu, Mrityu Devata. Boom. Upastasya. For genital, the presiding deity is Prajapati. One god is called Prajapati. That's why we will get Praja with that organ. Prajapati. Praja means children, progeny. Iti Karmendriya Devataha. These 5 are the presiding deities for these 5 action of senses. Sense of actions. Okay, Swamiji. Then what their jobs? We know these jobs. Vacho Vishayaha Bhashanam. The job of this tongue is Bhashanam. Bhashanam means speaking. Panyoho Vishayaha Vastu Grahanam. The job of hands is Vastu Grahanam. Vastu Grahanam means we can hold any object because of that power. Vastu Grahanam. Then Padayoho Vishayaha Gamanam. The job of feet is Gamanam. We can walk. Next, Swami, Payoho Vishayaha Malatyagaha. Malatyaga is the job of anus. Upastasya Vishayaha Ananda iti. The job of Upasta Indriyam is Anandam, getting Anandam. These 5 are called Karmendriyani. For this Karmendriya also, Guruji has given one table. What are the organs, what are the presiding deities, and what they do, their job. The problem with Karmendriyas is they are little problematic. Is they lose their vitality with age. Jnanendriyas little bit okay. We can maintain their vitality till death. We can hear, we can see, we can touch, we can taste, we can smell little better. Whereas karmendriyas, they lose very quickly. That is there in Vedanta. I don't know why, because we work more, I think. That's why people, they keep on complaining. Swamiji, leg pain, Swamiji, hand pain, Swamiji. And then the speaking power also we lose as we grow. And these problems also, they come. So these karmendriyas, they say they lose their vitality little earlier than the jnanendriyas. And the remaining, whatever we covered it. This all together is called our subtle body. Now, if the student is very genuine, he would ask one question at the time of definition only. Swamiji, you told this subtle body is not perceived by anyone. But you enumerated so many organs of sense organs, so action organs, so in the same body. But we are seeing hands, legs, eyes, nose, tongue, everything. But you said they cannot be, visualized, they cannot be observed. And they say, whatever we are saying, this is eye, this is ear, this is nose, this is mouth. They say these are golakas. Golakas means just like a table. The boss of this golaka is called actual indriya. Indriya we cannot see. The aperture for indriyam we can see. The table for that indriyam we can see. We can see the eye, but we cannot see the presiding indriyam of that eye. That is very subtle. That is called jnana shakti. That jnana shakti, this karma shakti together, they will be in subtle body. We don't know what it is. Can we see what is taste? Indriya, that knowledge. Taste, knowledge of taste cannot be seen. It has to be experienced only. That's why these golakas are different, their bosses are different. That boss is called indriyam. That is a part of subtle body. So this is the clarity. So now I'll conclude our class. Then I'll change the mic also. Then we can go for our question and answer session.